hope this is actually working, and I hope that this is better than before. We're just going to test it out real quick because I do have my what you call it. Oh yes. Do apologize about the wait, everybody. How's everybody doing today? What's up, human beings? How you doing today? Sendou Q is back and in the game. Zombie fan, Golden Apple, Sotendo guy. Oh man, I just love everybody right now. How's everybody doing? How's everybody? Okay, all right. So, FYI, let's get to the internet bullshit. Okay, let's get back to the internet bullshit. So if you don't know, we swap internet providers. Did I download more RAM? Yes. Yes. You already know how we download more RAM, zombie fan. Oh boy. So first of all, how do you like the new layout? Number one, I got it for free. I don't care. I got it for free. So I'm trying to do a little bit more when it comes down to trying to get a little bit more flavor. I think it's time for me to upgrade my thing. And oh crap, y'all gonna have to see this. Give me 1 second. We're gonna be right back. Everybody can see. Hope everyone can see it. I got the little razor thing on the background. I'm gonna try to bring it over just a tad bit. Right here. There we go. So yeah, y'all get to see my razor thing in the background. Oh man. Man, this getting frantic on me with all these translation. My transition, my bad, everyone. Um, if you talk about YouTube censorship and need to use private information to prove you're over 18, yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb. I think a lot of people are probably gonna go to a different platform, but that's dumb. I don't think that should be right. And I think Nvidia start doing that too, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not the censorship that I really want to talk about because that's the whole thing I kind of want to do a video on. So if you want to know what I'm thinking about, is that's the dumbest thing I could say ever. Yo said I got a all AMD build, 7800 X3D CPU and a 7900 XT. I want the 7900 XTX just because I could remove the blades. But yeah, that's a great build. I mean, any build is great, and I think what you got for the price is actually pretty awesome. And I want to say congratulations on your build, man. You know, I think it's time for people to go outside their comfort zone to, feel like they're not getting ripped off. So AMD, great build. If they come out with that Intel GPU, your boy copping it up. Also, did you shave your beard? Yes, I did. Reason why is your boy is in the police academy. I gotta get my hair cut, so yeah. But as soon as the academy is over, I'm going to grow it back because I really miss my facial hair. Really, really miss my facial hair. Um, so let's talk about the gaming. Let's talk about what happened in gaming. I'm going to have to say this. Congratulations, PlayStation. Let's see if I can bring that thing real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's give congratulations to Sony for you almost look like a different person. I know. Congratulations on Sony for putting games on other platforms with Helldivers. Now I want to buy Helldivers. Look, this is something that I really want Sony to do. I wanted Sony to put other games on other platforms. Oh, thank you, Motto. I really appreciate that. I really wanted Sony to put games on other platforms. reason why is they're not making much money. If you look at Sony and they're putting their games only on their platform, they're not making that much from putting their games on their own platform. I mean, it just makes sense if you put it on other platforms so other people could play, because they're not seeing a increase on software. They only seeing it as software. I mean hardware. I mean 80,000 on hardware is pretty impressive, but when it comes down to it, if you're not making money from your software, then it doesn't make sense. You just might as well be a full-blown hardware company instead of making the software. And exclusives is dying, and I'm happy for exclusives to die. I love it. I love it. And this is what I was fighting for. I was going to support Sony until they get their acts together. And guess what? They got their act together by putting out a article saying, let's put it on other platforms. That's amazing. I love it. You know, now they could concentrate on being different of, okay, what this platform could do that the other platforms can't. And I think that bring a lot of competition. Speaking of, do I have, for a second, that's interesting. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. So let's go ahead and look into it. I'm going to use like a lot of Astro Cyborg stuff, because this is going to be interesting. So let's go into it. Yay! Oh, snaps. Hold on one second. I didn't know that was not fixed. There we go. All right. As you can see, I'm a Razer fan. So yes, you get to see my sneaky snake. And if we can see right here, PlayStation is multi-platform. I don't think a lot of PlayStation fans notice this, but PlayStation always been multi-platform since the arcade era. I don't know if anybody remember that game. What was it? It's a game that was made by Disney, but Sony helped publish it. It was something. It was a really good game and popular. It was there, and it's actually pretty good. I think it's pretty good, but it wasn't really pretty good, but it was interesting. Zombie fan, you called me out. I get it. I'm a Razer Shield. Everybody could call me a Razer Shield. I admit I'm a Razer Shield. Okay, I admit it. I admit it. Hold on. Let me see if I can make myself a little bit more shielder. Give me 1 second so y'all can see me real quick. I want to show you how, because I'm about to go ahead and go off now. I don't think you understand how much of a shield I am. Let me go ahead and pull it out. Let me turn that off, and we're just going to go straight up to RGB. Now who's a Razer Shield? Ah! Let me turn these off real quick, because y'all about to get like sick off of that. Yes, I am a Razer Shield. I'm going to stay by that. But let's watch this. This is the the article that Sony talking about going third party. This is 2 minutes, so we're just going to watch it. This is going to be fun.
I have a number of questions I'd like to get to today. I'm going to start with the platform business. As Sony Interactive Entertainment and the industry as a whole move towards multi-platform gaming, how will you protect the value of the PlayStation console?
The PlayStation experience is not just about the gaming console hardware, nor it's not just about the content as well. It's an experience in a community that shares this excitement. For over 30 years in the past, we've been committed to being the best place to play and publish. And this has helped us establish a dedicated community of 124 million players, and then an available network over the 4,000 creators. PlayStation console experience is designed to enable immediate gameplay.
Jeez. Okay, I think it's breaking up on my side, but This is basically what it is. I mean, you got to think about it. They're a $1 million company. Are they billion? I'm not going to look it up. Either million or $1 billion companies. So the thing about it is, if you're a million or $1 billion company, you have to think about the future. And these companies is more smarter than what we are. My intake with all this situation going on with Sony and everybody else, I'm not going to sit here saying I know what Sony should do, what the PlayStation brand should do. This is where they're going to have to do their self. And let's keep it real. This is just a business. They got people who they have to employ. They have a lot of people that they have to keep under them. Yes, they have to release some people, and that's always going to be bad, but let's keep it a buck. They're going to be a company no matter what. And since they're a company, they're going to do company things. That's why you don't want to trust a company with everything. You have to understand that they have to make money. They have to make a profit. If there's 80 million PlayStation 5s, PlayStation 5 Pros out there, but Spider-Man only sold 10 million, that is horrible. Even though you have the PlayStation fanboy saying 10 million is amazing, well, look at it. 10 million on a system that sold 80 million, it's completely trash. They don't want to see that number. Look at Astrobot. Astrobot, the one that came out, not the one that came with the console, but the one that came out. That only sold less than 2 million copies. That is a horrible sell when it comes down to try to make a profit. So they have to place the games on other platforms so they can make more of a profit. It is just buying PlayStation games. If it's not selling like 20 million, 30 millions on the PlayStation platform, that's a negative. It's simple as that. That's a negative. They have to at least make more so they could get their money back. It's the same thing with Nintendo. When they came out with the Wii U, it only sold 13 million consoles. If everyone bought Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Bros. That sold 13 million copies or 10 million copies, yes, that's a positive, but the Wii U only sold 13 mil. So that's actually horrible. It's just common sense when it comes down to it. But these fanboys don't understand that 80 million and only sold 10 million copies, that's a negative. That's a bad thing. And if I was owning a business, or if I put like if I invest in this company and I see 10 million, I'm going to do the math. Well, you only sold 10 million copies on the PlayStation 5, but there's 80 million copies out there. So where's my money going to come from? It's just that simple logic.
Immersive and accessible way. We're doing this in a completely integrated way, designing and manufacturing all aspects from the chips to the backend system. And we continue to look for new and innovative ways to broaden our reach and bring our content and a service to the players. The value of the PlayStation console is that still the best place to play.
They follow Microsoft Business. So that's what I'm going to have to fix. I'm going to have to fix it so it won't be white. So that's what I'm going to work on. They following Microsoft Business strategy because they see how successful it is. Exactly. That's all it is. It's not the fact that, you know, let me fix this real quick. It won't take me that long. Chunky, hidden display, blah, blah, blah. Text colors, background colors. We're going to do text color. Give me a second.
Otherwise, we'll stand here. That's fine. We'll stand here.
We're going to pause that. I didn't want to do that, but okay. Sorry, I changed the color. Okay. Da da da. Give me. What is it? Oh, there it goes. Okay, I could type that. Um. Oh no. That's the wrong one. All right. And then I think that's it. Okay, cool. All right. Sorry, I changed the color. So if y'all want to type something, y'all could type. So the thing about it is, these companies, like Zombie Fan said, they're following Microsoft options. They following what Microsoft is doing. What they're doing is Microsoft been making a lot more money when it comes down to Game Pass, and plus, Game Pass is so pro consumer for 20. Because think about it, $70, $80, um, $70, $80 a month. Times that by 12. Because if you're buying $70, $80 a month, and then you also got the microtransaction, all that stuff, that end up being a lot of money towards the end. Compared to $20 a month, you could play Microsoft games. I mean, Microsoft game. Ooh, snaps! I did not want to hit that. Microsoft games. You can play Microsoft games on their platform, all their games. Plus, you get to play online that comes with it. You can't beat that system. And to be honest, it's going to start looking like what Microsoft's going to do is they're going to go ahead and, I mean, not Microsoft, but Sony, what they're going to do is they're probably going to go into making Game Pass for PlayStation. Going to be 100% honest with you. Okay.
And it's growing as reach an even broader audience.
And you're quite right that we're continuously exploring new ways for players to interact with their franchises. It's important to realize that we're really thoughtful about bringing our franchises off console to reach new audiences, and that we're taking a very measured, a very deliberate approach in doing that. Particularly on the single player side, our tentpole titles, there's such a differentiated, the point of differentiation, I should say, for the PlayStation console. They're real showcases of the performance, of the quality of the hardware. So we want to ensure that players get the best experience from these titles. And we're very thoughtful about how and how we bring these titles to other platforms.
Okay, so this should be the end of the video, but I want to keep it real. If these games was on multiple platforms, it's going to be hard to reach it, because I think people looking at the PlayStation $500, $700 for a console is a little bit too much, and then you also have to pay more money for online games, all that stuff. And to be honest, $70 for a game plus $500 or $700 for a console, that's too much money to get into the PC world, the console world and everything, because it's starting to be like when I was growing up in the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis era. It was hard for a parent to buy their kids a Super Nintendo if they already have a Nintendo at the house. Reason why is, even though money looked like a lot easier to get back then, people still had that mindset saying, why would I buy a Super Nintendo if you have a Nintendo at home? Same thing with the Atari. Why would I buy an Atari 5600 if you have a 2600 at the house? What's the point? If it's still an Atari, it's still a Atari. And now we're starting to get to that mindset. It's not the mindset of, with the PlayStation 4. Why would I buy you a PlayStation 4 Pro that play all the games that's on the PlayStation Pro and go ahead, PlayStation 5, I'm sorry, but you have a PlayStation 4 at the house. You see what I'm saying? It's like they already put the games onto the newer system, but it was already on the PlayStation 4. A lot of people don't care if it's exclusive to that platform. They'll just wait And now you got the PlayStation 6 coming out. What's the point of buying a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Pro? Just wait for the PlayStation 6. So I think for them is announcing it a lot early, and a lot of people not going to adapt. And why did I mess that up? Same thing with PlayStation 5 Pro. Exactly. I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, let's see. Go down. At least I know what to do on that. Okay, we're going to keep that green, but we're going to do purple for background color. We're going to do purple for this one. Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to do purple for this one. There we go. We're going to do it like this. Boop. Close. All right, there we go. I fixed it. Cool. So it's just the fact of there's no point of upgrading. And plus, if you're planning to buy a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Pro, the PlayStation 6 already been announced. So what's the point? Save that money for later. Why do you think I went with a PC? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to what's this? Let's go to the Reforge. And the reason why I'm going to this one is because Reforge Gaming don't understand parts, PC parts, all this stuff. So we're going to watch this and we're going to enjoy ourselves because this is going to be fun. So if y'all want to watch it, enjoy yourself.
Oh, a nice TV. I was just going.
Hold on one second. I want to turn it up just a little bit on my side. There you go. 70. No. Let's go to the volume. No. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. Oh no, Jimmy Neutron, dumb cousin. Hey, we all know that Jimmy Neutron don't claim this dude. Cool, I got a top fan. Dang, zombie fan, you've been working. Okay, how do I go back? Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna watch this.
People can do what they want, but if they start from scratch and get a Pro and a nice TV, I would suggest going PC instead.
If y'all want to play bingo, there go the argument right there. Listen what he said. Listen what he said. Remember, the whole entire argument of a console is to buy it, and since you already got a TV, there's no way to upgrade. So this is an argument that's been destroyed by Jimmy Neutron. So let's see this.
People can do what they want, but if they start from scratch and get a Pro and a nice TV, I would suggest going PC instead.
We got him, everybody. We got him. We got him. So, console fanboys. If somebody don't have a TV, they have to buy a TV. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The reason why is if you're going to tell us we have to buy a monitor, then you, my friend, had to buy a TV. Bingo, check it off. I'm going to need to make a console fanboy bingo thing. That'd be fun.
Instead, because if you're wanting the best, just go get the best. I think that advice is terrible.
How is it terrible?
If you're wanting the best, just go get the best. I think that advice is terrible. Because that's not particular to the user. You're just saying this is the best. Well, what do you mean it's the best?
Okay. So, this would make it the best Reforge. You get freedom. Keyword Reforge. Freedom. Freedom from paying for online. Freedom of making sure we get free games. Freedom of if something happened to our PC, we could just replace a single part. Freedom of you could do whatever you want. That's the freedom. If I buy a PlayStation, the only time I could buy the games that are downloadable only is from the PlayStation Store. I can't go to GOG or anything else. It has to be by the PlayStation Store. I don't get the freedom if I buy a PlayStation. I can't go to the Xbox Store unless they put the games from the Xbox Store onto my PlayStation. And yet it still be overpriced. I don't get a freedom if I buy a PlayStation 5 and I get multiple stores. There's no freedom when it comes down to a console. Microsoft, on their new iteration of the console, is going to give you more freedom, and that's appreciated, and I like Microsoft to do that. I can't play Nintendo games on the PlayStation. There's no way for me to play it. I can't even pirate it. I can't use the PlayStation 5 like I want to. I have to use the PlayStation 5 that Sony tell me how to. That's the whole entire argument towards the PC versus console. You might get quote unquote 4K on your PlayStation, but I get true 4K if I wanted to. If I want to use a 1080 Ti on my PC, I'm more than likely to use the 1080 Ti on my PC. Do I want to go back and play with a 780? I mean, a 7. Wait, was it 70 or 980 Ti or 980? I got that choice. Can I use a Intel 6950 or whatever the equivalent of that is? Yes, I have the freedom to do whatever I want. On the PlayStation, I can't play PlayStation. On the PlayStation 5, I can't play PlayStation 3 games. I can't play PlayStation 2 games. I can't play the original PlayStation games onto the console when I own the hardware for it. You want to know why? Because like Apple, PlayStation say it's too old. If you want to play those games, we got a service for you, and you gotta pay for the top tier, even though you could own the copy in your hand. You get the freedom. You don't get the freedom on console because you're limited to what you want to play. Yes, you can play the newer games if you want, Reforged. That's on you. But there's people out there that want to just play old school PlayStation games on newer hardware, and PlayStation said no. Unless you pay me $200 a year. It's called freedom.
So you want them to go and spend roughly $1,500 to $2,000 and then hook it up in their living room? Like that?
No, you could spend $500 and still get the same experience that you would on a high-end PC. Just the freedom. That's the thing that you don't understand, Reforge. Freedom.
It's terrible advice. Most people don't want to do that. Yeah.
No, what's terrible is you're being a fanboy and don't even tell them the good and positive. You don't even tell the bad part of PlayStation. You only freaking suck PlayStation off.
Can't imagine saying if you're starting from scratch, just get a PC.
I agree. If you're starting from scratch, get yourself a PC. Way better experience. Way better experience. You want to know how much I spent for online for playing games online? 5 years, nothing at all. 10 years, nothing at all. You want to know why? I got a PC.
You were never banned. It's easier to use purple at work. I feel like you got banned. I don't know why. If you're not banned on YouTube, then okay. But I feel like you got banned. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
The funny thing about it is Reforge is not a type of person who want to have a discussion. He don't. He want nothing but yes men in his chat. And when you go against him, he'll block you. And that's kind of sad because there's no having conversation with you and can't be honest and can't argue mind thought, if that makes sense. Because he don't want to listen to your thoughts. He want to be correct. He's a narcissist, to be honest.
$120 native is pretty nice. Right, and you got to spend for that, and you got to want to spend for that. That's why I'm saying, like, everybody's very different. Like, just saying get a PC, it's...
Oh shit, really? 8 gigabyte, blah, 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 blah. Super pre-owned with no 8 gigabyte. Let's go ahead and add this. Proceed. Shoot, that's fine. Actually, yeah. I could do all that. That's fine. $399. Let's see. Let's do a 37D X Ryzen. Shit, 90. Really? Get a cart. Proceed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, power supply. PSU. I'm just gonna do 600. I don't care. Shit. Sure. Ooh, no, don't want to buy. Nope. Actually, no. One, two, three, four, five. C and card. 5. Find similar. 8689, no, 86. Gaming motherboard, B550, pre-owned. We're going to do use with accessory. Let's go with this. You know what? I'll go with this one. Add a cart. Proceed. Remove. Okay. Would be very good by a PSU off eBay. Look, that's not the argument. That's not the argument. That's not the argument. I'm not buying it at all. Look, that's not the argument. The argument is he's like the SP winning community of Yes Man and fanboys instead of a community that will hold him accountable. Exactly. So this is not the argument of buying a PSU off of eBay. And plus it's Newegg. The whole argument is to get 120 frames a second less than a PlayStation. 2 terabytes, $119. 2080 Super, 8 gigabytes, $209. $99 for the AMD Ryzen 7 3700X with the cooler. Then you got the Thermaltake, you got the MSI motherboard, and you got the case. All that $677.15. The whole argument is you can't build. I think I'm done with that one. You can't build a PC that could give you that type of frames. That's all it is. That was the whole entire argument that I was trying to make. And I just proved to him that that was incorrect.
The best. I mean, that's just really sweeping. The average consumer isn't going to think that. If they did think that, then that's what they would be doing. They wouldn't be buying consoles.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Let's go ahead and build those PCs because I think they're a better buy.
Yeah, Joker's always messing with it. He's always messing with it, Stone. If the person wants the best and is not scared of PC, I'm telling that person to get a PC. Now you're invoking.
Again, you put in fear into people that don't want to build a PC. This is something I don't like about fanboys. And this is what I realized when I went to PC. And this is an argument, and I'm about to go ahead and make myself big. So, the whole entire argument of people being afraid of building a PC, that's one thing that I'm going to say that a lot of people back in the day hates. Like, when I got into PC building, everybody on console told me that it's too expensive to build a PC. You got to go through a whole bunch of hoops and stuff. You got to spend more money to get the best. And to be honest, they was all fucking wrong. They was all fucking wrong. I had a Ryzen. My first PC I ever built for myself, like not given to me or anything like that. The first PC I ever built for myself was less than $600. It had an Intel 3. Is it Intel 3? Yeah. Intel 3 9th gen. 16 gigs of RAM. It had a Radeon RX 5500 XT, 8 gigabyte model. My nephew owned that, and when I upgrade for him, I'm taking that that back, and I'm about to build a Steam Deck not Steam Deck, but a Steam machine like console PC. It had a 500 watt PSU. Brand new. It wasn't all glamorous. It got the job done. I played multiple games. I started off my channel with that. It was the greatest thing I ever did. From going from consoles to PC. It was not scary. For anybody who say it's scary to build a PC, trust me, it's not hard. It's great. And if you can, you don't need to spend a lot of money to build a PC. Because you're not getting the best of the best on the consoles. So why spend $2,000 on a PC? Why spend $2,000 on a PC? Because if you're not getting the best of the best from the consoles, there's no way for you to spend $2,000 on a PC to get best of the best. There's no way. There's no way. You can't prove that to me, Reforge.
Fear, which is not part of the equation. Nobody is scared of PC. You're talking about a consumer decision. Consumer decisions are based off of perceived value, right? It's not about fear. Now, they might think that's too complicated. I don't want to mess with that. That's not necessarily fear. They're trying to minimize complications. They're trying to minimize things that maybe they don't understand.
Well, you got pre-builds out there, and I think they got the CPU as Ryzen as well. I will, if you want me to, I will buy that PC and connect it. So I do apologize.
It's not necessarily fear. Sounds awful for me and definitely not the best. So instead of spending $700 on my PS5 and $2K for a TV, says Eugene, maybe another $3K for good audio for my home entertainment center, I should spend $5K on a PC and sit at a desk in my office. Right, like it's just that's everybody's got different ways of setting up their gaming experience. There is no best. It's what's best for them.
Golly, got me doing this in real time. Not YouTube, but PC part bigger. All right, who want to see me build a PC that's like console size? Start now.